We're live from the Benekiva studios.
Woo!
So my name is Bobby Shrivastava, co-founder, chief product officer of Benekiva. We have a special guest today with
Yeah,
Moise. Moise, do you want to do a quick introduction?
yeah, absolutely. So Benekiva team, Bobby Brent, thanks for having me. Moise Doodby with Northwestern Mutual Future Ventures. Been here about 2 years, but love working in the innovation space, working with startups and suretechs, pushing those boundaries in life in general. So recently had a little baby boy.
Nice.
He turned 4 months old a couple days ago, but he got his shot, so he's not doing too well.
Uh,
Yeah, big fan of Brent and Bobby. Love working with these guys and ideating. And then met at the last conference. I want to do a little prop here.
Woo!
So uh, full disclosure, I'm based in Wisconsin, and we just opened all the golf courses. So I will be using the Benekiva golf balls for my first round. But
Awesome.
thank you guys for having me. Look forward to chatting.
Awesome.
So in this episode, this is episode 3 for us and of Happy Fridays. Typically, we share one, maybe two from last week. Brent cheated. Of stories that's personal or work related. What was something positive, something that made you happy this week? So, Moy, since you're our guest, would love for you to go first.
To kind of kick it off, sure. So with everything going on right now, a lot of folks are struggling. A lot of life has been disruptive, and so me and my friends and a few of my coworkers, we actually elected to buy a month's worth of groceries for a couple families in our community that were struggling. And I want to do a quick shout out to a lot of my teammates who helped fundraise and provided the financials to be able to go out and buy these groceries. So we are now up to 6 families that we were able to buy
Wow.
a month's worth of groceries, kind of take that burden off of them. We're starting to get pictures back, so like their kids eating cookies at before dinner, or just having ice cream at night. And we're able to bring kind of that happiness into someone's life and take that burden off of them to be able to provide groceries or those supplies. So that's kind of the good story. It's something I'd like to continue to do as we kind of go through what we're going through right now, is make sure that these families and others are just making do with what they have, but they're getting the support that they need. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the good story. But big shout out to my friends and some of my coworkers who are also involved in helping kind of this program go.
That
That's
is
amazing.
cool, man.
That's very
Thank
cool.
you. Yeah, it
That's
is cool.
very
Thank you.
cool. Yeah,
Brent, do you want to go next?
that's really neat. Really neat. Congrats for for you and your friends for getting together and thinking outside the box for a solution to help others.
Right.
We sometimes in these situations we fail to understand that some of us from a financial aspect it won't affect us very much, but some it's devastating. And so to be able to help during that time is pretty awesome, pretty
Right.
cool by you guys. Happy Friday story for me. This week I'll leave at one, and it's going to be a business one. We uh, believe we landed our next carrier client, another large carrier client, which we really had no expectation that this was going to come about. So I believe that, with the pain points that this COVID-19 situation is putting on carriers, they're starting to realize that, we need to move our goals, our innovation goals to be work from anywhere, any device, anytime. And we had this carrier that we had contacts connections with in the past, and they understand that our platform was designed with that in mind. And just out of the blue, they reached out and said, "Hey, we need help with this, and this. Can you do that?" And well, yeah, we can. We've had conversations with you in the past. We'd love to work with you, and so I again, I hate to use a negative situation like a COVID-19 uh, for a positive for positive sales tool, for lack of a better term. But the facts are the facts, and the fact is these carriers need to shift their thinking to anywhere, any device, anytime. And as they do that, they're going to start looking for companies like Benekiva and others that can help them accomplish that goal. So that was a pretty happy moment for us this week. We've got a lot of our friends that are reaching out to us saying, hey, how's the Benekiva team? How's Benekiva doing? Are you guys okay? And I'm happy to report we're perfectly fine. There's Benekiva's not going anywhere. We're actually doing some pro bono stuff for some carriers as well, just to show that we're here to help.
Right.
That was my happy story for this week. And then I will say I have another happy story. My buddy Nick just came on.
Yay!
I made it. Sorry. I made it. I apologize.
And we're live
Welcome. Hey, welcome to the party, Nick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who has done happy stories so far?
Moise and myself.
So
Okay.
2 done.
2 done.
Bobby, you go. It'll give me.
I'll go. Give you a couple of minutes.
Well, I was gonna say after Brent's story, I don't want to use this golf ball now. I might save it as a good luck charm.
Plenty more where those came from, buddy.
Yeah.
So my happy story happened yesterday evening. We've been working. I think we've shared that we're working on a feature where we can completely go our intake to payout all through a text. So no need to log in emails, no need to fax, mail. Everything can happen on your phone. And I'm happy to report that yesterday I've been working with our team throughout the last few weeks, and we are going to be demoing that in the next week or so. It's there. So all we have to do is now configure it, and I'm so excited. When he showed it to me, I was like, oh my God, I can cry, because as somebody that architects, right? Like, it's so cool to, like, when you're architecting a solution and you've got this vision and you're balsamicking it and sharing your vision to your dev team, and when they do the process and you seeing demos, and when it's finally final, it's just like such a happy moment.
Yeah.
So that was my
cool.
what?
What's it do?
So think about your claims process.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to ever log in, call. You can just simply send a text, and it starts the claim process where you can complete your documents, upload documents, get status notifications, payment status, all through your phone. So, I mean, for some folks, when they're at a point where they're grieving, right? I don't need to call and get through a list of press 1 to do this, press 2, right? I don't want to talk to somebody. I just may need to say, what else do I need to do? Did you get everything? Instead of doing, how can we be more proactive in giving those status updates is what we're doing. Plus, your entire process can be done through text.
Yeah, literally from start to finish, the entire process done through text messaging.
Fantastic.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I don't think
Cool.
think there's enough being done with text.
Yeah.
And I specifically always focus on like event networking. There's always the Brella app or the app that's specific for the event, and I'm always frustrated because it's another app.
Yeah.
And I have to like connect it, and I don't want to open another app.
Yeah.
What do I use on my phone that everyone else uses? Text.
Yeah.
Right? Like, none of them take advantage of the native text features, and it's just like, why can't I just use WhatsApp or the native text to be able to do the communication, schedule the meeting, figure out like, I'm at the MGM Grand, but where the hell are you?
Yeah.
Like that's always the struggle at an event, is all of that coordination. And I always wonder, like, someone should just build this whole thing out in native text.
Yep.
So
Done it for claims.
Yeah.
Right.
Done.
Awesome.
Well, that's awesome.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so my happy story last week was the gentleman at Culver's who, when my card didn't work completely, he came out of his pocket to fill in the amount that I was short. And so happy story number one is he wasn't there, so I couldn't see his reaction, and I hope he got it, but we matched his amount by 10.
Nice.
And I put it in an envelope. And so Malachi from Culver's in Naples, Florida, if you're listening, thank you. Spend the money wisely. Awesome. Happy story number two is one of our stakeholders, a very large European reinsurance company, ran into a snag. They were working with one of their partner companies, and they realized that in order to do flood correctly, they really weren't quite set up to do it the way that there were issues bubbling up. And it's like, our system's not really set up to solve these individual problems. And sure enough, they brought us into the equation here because we've built the technology that can solve that particular problem for flood. Yeah. And so have one of the largest companies in the world say, we can't do it internally, but we know who can, and to have them bring us in was like serious signaling to the world that, like, yeah, what we've done and what we've built is state of the art and is the current best practice on how to model and underwrite flood exposure for property, not only in the United States, but globally. Yeah. So it was, we just couldn't wait to, like, we're in the middle of fundraising, and it's like, we couldn't wait to talk to some of the investors that we've been talking to let them know. It's just like, how much more, like, this is like serious vouching for us here that they couldn't do it, but we can. You know, let's get this thing going. Yeah, that's my happy story.
Reach back to you need to reach back out to all those potential funders and tell them to get out their wallets.
That's right. I just paid Malachi. I have to make up for it.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you everyone for sharing your happy stories with us. Until next time with another guest. And Moise, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it. Happy Friday. Keep doing good. We'll talk soon.
Sounds awesome.
Meeting you.